Hello everyone, thanks for being here and welcome this virtual session. This is me Santa Karwal present here, Senior Advisor of Nepal Swiss Space Tourism. In this virtual session, we will discuss about the Swiss Space project SST6 with its two suborbital and one orbital mission. The Zoom meeting will be 40 minutes length and funded participant maximum. If you have any questions, just go to the chat box and ask. So now I would like to welcome our guest speaker, SST6 Mission Commander Boris Otter from Switzerland and SST6 Backup Commander Kailas Renier from Austria. Hello, sir.
In 92, I'm working as a flight instructor in the army. So 2000, I moved forward to the biggest rescue company in Austria called ÖMTC Rescue Service. And since 24 years, I'm working for them, I'm flying for them. And so 38 years, I'm a professional pilot. And I love this job, I like this job. And this day could be a lucky day because in the morning, I got my confirmation of the flight training for the zero gravity flight. Miss Diana Lehmann, I saw on the screen, helped me to book that. And so thank you, Tanya. And so I give back to you, Boris.
Okay, thank you very much, Klaus. I will now try to launch a little video of presentation. So this is always the most difficult part. I need to share my screen. So let me try to do that and watch and enjoy the video. Okay, do you see my screen somehow? Do you see something like this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that's it. This is what I call an inspirational message. I hope you liked it. It's showing how you can train on ground as a private cosmonaut. And this is something I did mainly in Russia and Star City. Now it's a little bit more complicated because of what is going on with Ukraine. But there are still some options to make some private training like this in USA, for example. Okay, so now if you want to ask some questions, I think we can use several minutes already to ask them. I will suggest you either to speak directly or to write them via the inbox screen that we have. I can see something. Hello, Tanya. I see that Tanya is with us. So we are 3 crew members of the space project SST6. So if anybody has a question, please do not hesitate. You can ask your question, take the speech.
Yes, sir, I have one question if you have enough time to answer me. I'm Rakin from Dhaka, Bangladesh. And my question is, I'm studying in economics. I'm in Department of Economics from Dhaka, Bangladesh. But my question is, what is the process to be work with you or work with space agencies some terms of like this?
Okay, so actually, if you want to work with us, we are a non-profit association, meaning that we are not here to make a profit. We are not selling anything. We are gathering people who are fans of space and who are dreaming to go one day to space, and especially above Kármán line. So by joining Swiss Space Tourism, you can do it. And what normally I'm doing, if some student cannot, let's say, afford a membership fee, I can invite them. So you can become member free of charge, because I can easily understand that it's not easy for a student to pay a membership fee. But it's okay. I mean, you are a fan of space, you are interested in this domain, you want to join, you can do it. After, if you want to work with a big organization like NASA, JAXA, European Space Agency, this is something much more serious. Then they will need to have your background, what you did, what are your goals, do you have project? And in this case, I would invite you to connect them directly. But to work with Swiss Space Tourism, it will be like the way for you to take part to a space project that we are creating that could launch 6 of us or 12 of us to space on a suborbital mission, or even 3 of us on an orbital mission. This is our goal. So you are welcome to join. You can put the Swiss Space Tourism on Google and you will find the link direct to connect with us. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much for your answer, Honorable Sir.
So next question, please. Okay, if it's no question, I will now share again the screen and give you the presentation of the PowerPoint project. Yes, one question. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. From the media, just like our country, Nepal, how can you motivate students to go through the space and work in space? So, you have any idea to facilitate with those students and push them into the space for their? They have some dreams. So, how can you push the country like Nepal and other countries like similar circumstance, because they are lack of equipment, AI tools, and they are not as familiar with the tools and in this advanced era. So how can you motivate them?
Okay, this is a good question, because speaking about motivation, I know that my backup mission commander, Klaus Reiner, is always making and showing a lot of motivation. Klaus, would you like to reply to this question? How to motivate people from Nepal or from Bangladesh to join the space domain?
Yes. So do you hear me, Boris? I have the headset on.
Yes, we hear. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. The best motivation is to find organization like the Swiss Space Tourism from Boris Otter. I found it last year. I followed them carefully. So someday there was an announcement from Boris, do we have the right stuff on the public? So I reported my interest and I got the nominate of Boris to a mission backup commander. And so to work on this project, this is really a big adventure, the biggest adventure in my life. So I can only to motivate you to believe in yourself, think big, like Boris is always saying, try to connect you with space organizations, give your input, could be your work on an astronaut participant, could be there are smaller things, go in aviation. Aviation is always a good step to go forward to become an astronaut. and be always motivated and enjoy the dreaming and never stop dreaming. Dreaming comes with you, boys. Okay.
Thank you very much for your reply, Klaus. It's true, because if you don't have a motivation, you will never be able to reach your goal. And once you have a goal, what you want is to reach it. So to reach it, you need to go until the end and until you will face success or failure. If it's success, congratulations. If it's failure, then it's experience, because maybe you did something not correct, and next time you will improve it. You know, it's like I was discussing before with Klaus. It's like to make a webinar with you now in Nepal. We are improving from every webinar a little bit more. Maybe we are not speaking correctly, we are not telling correct things exactly, or we are making too much movements. It's a way to improve. So put yourself to a goal, go to this direction, and show a lot of motivation, especially for space. Space is extremely motivating thing, because only few people are selected to go to space, and it's like, let's say, kind of elite. And if you have the chance either to be part of this elite or to work with this elite, you will be part of some exceptional people who are showing a lot of motivation, and they will only pull you up to your own dreams. So I will advise to join Swiss Space Tourism, for example, to see some people with a lot of motivations. If you want, you can also join NASA or JAXA, European Space Agency, Roscosmos, United Emirates Space Agencies. It's all people who are working there who are showing extreme motivation, and it's good to think positive every time you want to reach a goal like this. Okay, so I will now present shortly the PowerPoint.
Thank you so much for the answering that questions. And additionally, I have the one questions. So I want to ask that.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. In our country, Nepal, at the circumstance of Nepal, many students or many our candidates, they want to be an astronaut and they want to be in space. But because there are the lack of the motivation and awareness in space, much of the circumstance or awareness, there is not available any situations that they are trained to be directed towards the space and can train themselves to going through the space and can moderator to encourage them, isn't it? But instead of that, people motivate them to go in medical sector and others. But how can we do best in that situation? So that only motivation is not enough, because as the mentor like you and as speaks someone leader, so it will be the suitable. We have to do more webinar and give them the feedback, isn't it?
Yes, it's very good question. If you want to go to space, you have more or less only three solutions. I mean, the first one, you are living in a country where you have a space agency and you can be selected as a cosmonaut, an astronaut, a taikonaut, a viomonaut, and then you have a chance to go to space and to be paid to do that. The second option is to pay for your own ticket. And this is the most accessible option, because if you live in Nepal, you don't have a space agency like NASA who have rockets, or SpaceX or Blue Origin or Virgin Galactic who can give you this possibility to work for them. So living in Nepal, what I will do, it's in order to go to space, either to win enough money by myself to pay for my ticket, to be lucky enough to have parents who are very rich, and one day I will get this money to pay also for my ticket, or to work with people who are connected with a space project like Swiss Space Tourism. I mean, people who are now joining the space project SST6 are not professional astronaut and not professional cosmonaut. It's people who have, let's say, personal experience that is showing that those people will be able to join me inside the same capsule to go for a space trip above Kármán line. Why? Because they have some education that are showing either engineer education, university, airline pilot, helicopter pilot. I have a scuba diver, a lot of scuba divers, also crew members, by the way. I have a submarine pilot. It's all people with special qualifications. Even people who are making like mountain climbing and going to the cave, also to the grots, speleology. So what is good to be selected somehow is to have a special career, a special way you are going. I mean, if you just stay at home and watch TV, it will bring nothing. You will never get more intelligent and have a chance to fly to space. But if you start to make some activities like you learn to fly, you make scuba diving, you make parachute, then you can make also glider, or you can make parasailing, you can start to work in the engineering process. Those points will be very important for your profile in order one time to be selected if you apply, because you can have the chance to fly to space without paying anything. You just need to be at the right place at the right time. I'm just giving you one example. We know a billionaire Japanese guy called Yusaku Maezawa, and this guy, he spent 2 weeks on board the International Space Station 2 years ago, and he was not alone because he took with him one of his employees, meaning that he paid the ticket of his employee, something like $35 million, and he told him, look, I'm paying you your ticket to go to space with me, but you will need to make photo of me and video of me. Of course, I mean, who would say no to such offer? If you have such boss, it's a miracle. So the employee could go to space and spend 2 weeks with his boss, being just there to film him and to make video of him. This is what I'm calling the chance. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be a professional cosmonaut or astronaut to do it. You just need to be right time, right place with the right person. And you can also say something that is also important. If you are telling, for example, tell me who are your friends and I will tell you who you are. Go and meet people who like space, and you will be someone that will be space connected. And when we need such kind of people, you will find it inside your own group of people, because it's only people connected with space. If you stay with people who like football, you will never be connected with space somehow. You need really to enter the space environment. And one of the first step you can do, it's the same like Klaus Reiner he did. He joined a Swiss space tourism, and now look, he's my backup mission commander because I saw his profile and I was thinking, wow, this guy is exactly the guy I want to be my backup if I'm not able to fly for any reason. He was military officer. He was aircraft pilot. He's now a rescue helicopter pilot. He's making a big motorbike driving. He's playing music, something I am not doing also. I mean, he has a lot of qualifications that I find absolutely great to get this position. And one more time, he's not professional. So this is what I would suggest to young people from Nepal. First, you go to the place where it's connected with space. And second, you start to work on yourself by training yourself as if you want to become an astronaut, flying, scuba diving, growth exploration, mountain climbing, whatever. Get qualifications, and after you can use them to promote yourself. Okay, I will launch now the screen. I hope I replied to your question. We will watch the PowerPoint presentation. Let me just launch it immediately. Share the screen. PowerPoint. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Excellent. So I want to explain who is this woman on this photo. This is Yulia Peresild. She is a Russian actress, and she went 2 weeks to space to make a movie called The Challenge. I had the chance to see this movie in Russia, in Moscow last year, and this is the most amazing movie that I saw in my life. It is not fake. It's really a movie that was made in weightlessness condition inside the International Space Station. And one more time, she did not pay for her ticket. She was an actress, meaning that even by becoming an actor, you have a chance maybe to go to space. So this is our project, SST6, Swiss Space Traveler 6. We are trying to fly to space on suborbital mission. Just sorry, someone has his mic on. Could you please switch it off? Thank you. We are 6 crew members who are supposed to fly with a mission that is called the Suborbital 1, which will be launched by a rocket of Blue Origin called the New Shepard rocket. So this is a capsule. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but if you are not shutting off the screen and your sound, it will disturb. Xiaomi, you are with us? Xiaomi? I think it's your sound that is on. So this is a capsule we are supposed to fly with. This is a capsule of Blue Origin, 6 seats on board. Mission commander will be myself, and Klaus Reiner will be backup, meaning that if I am not flying, he will fly also this mission. This is how it looks like inside capsule of Blue Origin. You have huge windows which will give you possibility to get the overview effect, meaning that once you are above the Kármán line by looking at planet Earth, and you will see the blue of the planet and the dark of the space, you will get such a shock in your brain that it will stay with you forever, but in a positive way. Who will be on board? So first mission commander, it's myself. I explain what was my background, so I will not go too much on it. You have already heard about that. We have a mission co-pilot, François Viola from France. Actually, he will be our medical subject because he is suffering from a bones disease. He has bones that are not very tough and that can break easily. But however, he was making a lot of flights in high G condition forces. He got up to 6, 7, 8 Gs, and his body was supporting very well. So we are interested in knowing what will be in zero gravity with him, because if his body is supporting 8 Gs, he can support 0 Gs also. It will be an interesting subject for him. Alyssa Carson, this is our top VIP from USA. Probably you know her. She's telling that she will be the first woman to go to planet Mars. She's very famous and is a part of our project and member of Swiss Space Tourism since several years already. We are very glad to have her on board with us. She will be mission specialist number 1. Professor Bernard Foin, he was working at the European Space Agency for many years. He's a really scientist with a lot of knowledge, astrophysics, and also very well aware about all what is Moon Project and Mars Project. Scott Waters, he's from USA and is now living in Spain. He's our submarine pilot with a lot of qualifications in very close environments, which can be very needful when you're going to space. Alicia Clark from USA, she's our mission specialist number 4. She's doing a lot of things, skydiving, she's airplane private pilot, she's doing scuba diver, she made also cosmonaut training in Russia, she went several times in Himalaya. So you see, such kind of qualifications are giving you much more chance to be selected. And she has a background in medicine, extra environmental. Mission 2, I will be the mission commander. And as a mission co-pilot, we have Tanya Bradley. Actually, it's a woman that was drawn by this guy. This guy, he's Belgium citizen, very famous about space, and he's represented by her. Let's say like this. Patricia Williams. From Colombia and USA, she was working at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. She made some cosmonaut training at the NASA Training Center. She's an aircraft pilot student also and member of Mars Society Belgium. And she also is able to make a speaker explaining how is it about all space things. Simon Kalin, Switzerland. This is one of our students who will fly to space with us. So you see, you can be a student and get a chance to fly to space because you are studying the good subject. He was working also as analog astronaut. He's a scuba diver, rescue diver. He was firefighter also. He has knowledge in medical technology. He was a sergeant in the Swiss Army. He has also a lot of qualifications, and I thought that he was really the good guy as a student to be taken inside this mission. Tanya Lehmann, she's with us today. She is our engineer, specialist in zero-G flights. She made more than hundreds of parabola in zero gravity, so she knows the subject by heart. She is also a glider pilot and a member of Mars Society Germany. She is with us on this mission too as a mission specialist. And Enrique Guzman, he was applying as a professional astronaut during the last European Space Agency selection. He went quite far, but unfortunately not to the end because it's not easy. So again, a lot of qualifications: pilot, scuba diver, speleologist, triathlete and triathlon, meaning that he's making a lot of sport, which is a good advice to people who wants to become astronaut. and he is also member of Society of the Flight Test Engineer. This is a rocket we should use. We should use Blue Origin rocket, and it's 6 seats on board. As we have seen, they had only one failure. And for the prize, normally it's under NDA, non-disclosure agreement, meaning that you cannot say the price. But we know that one guy paid something like $1 million for his ticket, meaning that full capsule could be minimum $6 million US. This is inside the capsule. As I said, huge windows. You can only get amazing overview effect there. Who else can send you to space? It's China, because China can be the next leading actor in space tourism. They are constructing now a new rocket called ZK6, and this rocket has 7 seats. It's the one on the right side, and it's actually a copy-paste of Blue Origin rocket. And if we fly with the China rocket, the backup mission commander Klaus Reiner will join us on board because we have 7 seats, so he will be on the mission. Virgin Galactic, you know them, they send only 4 passengers at the same time instead of 6 that we are, but they are trying to send a new rocket now, rocket aircraft that can accommodate more passengers. Cost more or less $450,000 US per seat, so it's still expensive. This is the overview effect. This is what we want to get, all of us, to see the planet like this. You can be young, you can be old. It's possible for everybody to go to space unless you have a medical certificate that is not giving you a prohibition to fly. Space sickness we want to study. This is someone who vomited inside his spacesuit, so it's not something you are hoping for. But it's good to understand up to which point you can get sick by going to space. And this is a subject we want to try either in zero gravity flights or during a 4 minutes weightlessness experience above the Kármán line. So weightlessness, I had the chance to try myself. This is like a Superman. Superman, he was flying more or less like this when I was a kid, watching him at the cinema. And I was able to do the same inside the aircraft. And I can tell you that this is the best souvenir I have of a zero-G flight, Superman flight. And this guy, he walked on the moon. It's Charlie Duke from mission Apollo 16. And look what he has in his hands. He has a mission patch of Swiss space tourism. So let's say that I reach the moon by reaching Charlie Duke. And Harrison Schmitt of Apollo 17, also I could give him hand by hand one of my mission patch. So this is final countdown. This is some of the things I was doing in my career, flying a Sukhoi 27 aircraft in the center in Russia. Upstairs right, this red aircraft is an aerobatic aircraft, and downstairs right, it's my cosmonaut training in Russia. So this is the end. I will give you possibility now to ask questions to Klaus, to myself, or even to Tanya, because she's with us now. So any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yes, sir. I have also one question. It's me, Rakin from Bangladesh. My question is, how can I attend your next seminar that you are doing in Zoom session?
I'm sorry, I did not understand exactly the question.
Well, I'm saying that how can I attend your next seminar that you are doing in Zoom session?
To bring Zoom session, but I mean, you are inside the Zoom session now? Was that what you're asking?
The answer is you can follow us on the Swiss Space Traveler fan site on Facebook, and there you will see the announcement of all 4 seminars. So you can join every seminar with British public. So follow us on the SST6 fan site, please.
Thank you, Klaus.
Do you have any formal training and courses there in Switzerland?
Actually, in Switzerland, I would say no, because we are planning to fly from USA, and in USA, the company who is in charge of giving the training, it's called NASTAR. It's a possibility there to make a centrifuge, to make zero gravity flights, to make diving, scuba diving also exercise, and to go into the hyperbar room. So in Switzerland, we don't have such kind of things. No, unfortunately, we need to travel abroad to make it.
You just told like one of your student, he is going to fly with.
Yes, but this student is joining the space project SST6, meaning that he was selected as a mission specialist, but he's training by himself. For example, scuba diving, he's doing himself. If he's doing speleology, he's doing himself. If he's doing flying as a pilot, he's doing by himself. Swiss Space Tourism is not giving direct training, but we can gather together to make, for example, a zero gravity flight that we are now planning in October 2025, where all the crew members of the space project should join to make a zero gravity flight. But it's not Swiss Space Tourism who is making it directly. We are coordinating somehow with a company that can give us this training. Because don't forget that if you want to make some space training, it costs a lot of money. Nothing is cheap when you are connected with space.
One remark to the CST flight. This will be a flight that the members pay for themselves. It's not a specialized training flight. It is a discovery flight in France.
I'm sorry, Tanya, we don't hear you very good. Can you check your mic, please?
It should be okay. Is it better now?
Yes, now it's better.
Okay. The security flight we are planning next year from France is paid by the participants, and it's not paid by this space tourism as we are a non-profit, and we don't have the funds to just pay trainings. And it will be a discovery flight or getting to know business. And Zero G has a program what they do and will be also because it's not a or any private.
Yeah, I'm sorry myself. I almost did not hear anything. It's almost not possible. Klaus, did you hear something?
Yes, I'll make a summary. Tanya Lehmann told us that Swiss Tourism is a non-profit organization, and all crew members have to pay for itself for their training. So the zero-G flight gravity training in France, for example, costs 6,900 euros, means approximately $8,000. So if you pay it yourself or you find a sponsor partner. And so our strategy is to increase the public interest, to get more value of our project, and so you get more interest of the sponsor partner. So that's the goal. And so in the morning I got the confirmation of the flight training in October 25 for the zero gravity flying. Tanya, thanks for connection with Miss Duvet. She wrote me email today, and so I think that was the summary of Tanya Lehmann.
Thank you, Klaus. Okay, we have 2 minutes only left before it will shut down automatically. So if any other questions, please try to do it fast.
Hi, sir. I have one question because as a senior advisor, Swiss Space Tourism in Nepal, because I'm a responsible person for promote about the space science and space travel, so that many people are unaware about the space travel, and for the space tourist, we need to be financially independent, or is there any scholarship opportunities?
Actually, we are trying to find some sponsors and partners who can help us to get funds to go forward with our space project. And this is what you should do. I mean, if you want to work with space and to be connected with space, you need to try to find people who will believe in you and who will give you a chance by promoting you. This is what I'm telling you. Construct something, construct a project. You can use Swiss Space Tourism and to say you are part of this absolutely great, fantastic association that is trying to send people to space. And try like this, but we are financially speaking paying for ourselves. Everybody is paying for his training.
Yeah, because I sent almost 70 to 100 people email, but many few people are joining here. Maybe they are unaware about that, so I'm just asking.
Okay, it's already good. It's less than 1 minute, so in case it will be shutting down, I want to thank you everybody for following up. You can look at Swiss Space Tourism website if you go to Google to connect with us. We are on Facebook, we are also on YouTube, on Instagram. Don't hesitate. Klaus, you want to say something?
Thank you.
Can I ask one question at last?
Yes, it will stop soon. You can try.
A quick.
Okay. How can you encourage yourself and overcome all the failure and struggle to